Coming at you live from DNHQ in beautiful South Pasadena, California. This is the Blue Heaven Podcast. We got commercials on in the back. I'm just going to turn that TV off because who cares? What is going on, Dodgers Nation? My name is Clint. You can find me as Real FRG on the Twitter and the Instagram.
We were almost about to get in a lot of trouble by the end. It's not off, by the way, but we're almost about to get in a lot of trouble by the NBA for having their games on in the background. If you're listening, Adam Silver, my name is Eric. Guys, what's up? My name is Brook. You can find me at BrookMe3 on Twitter and Instagram. On today's show, today's Lockout Judgment Day for Major League Baseball. Whatever the hell that means.
Or it's not, because they're just like kind of faking it while they're making it.
I've been doing that.
We're going to come up with our alternative plans to opening day 2022 because it kind of seems like it's a lie. That it's gonna happen. We don't really know what the hell's going on. We do have Eric locked in the corner. We got Eric Cam locked in. Look at him. Awkward lighting. We're still figuring things out right here with everything set up. But he's gonna be the guy in the corner checking on the latest updates as we do this. We're doing a live CBA update because that's where we're at in our lives. But there are some Dodgers and MLB updates. We'll talk about them. We want to talk about the greatest home runs of all time as voted on by Dodgers. So that's what we got. Doug in the house. Douglas, what's going on? Doug, he's back from his wedding. And he's back from his honeymoon cruise to, as he called it, the DR, which Eric and I knew he was going to call it. So
D-Mac and the DR, what can I say, man? It was good times. They love baseball almost as much as we do. But, yeah, it's great to be back here in the new studio with the Blue Heaven crew. My man Eric, wish we had some baseball to talk about. But, hey, it looks like they are making some progress. It looks like there are some positive signs. Still doesn't looks like a deal is not imminent, but it looks like they have been making progress. But, hey, man, we got to end this lockout. And we got to get to baseball season.
That's a progress beer. Oh, wait, no, it's Firestone. It's not progress. Progress is a different. You understood that reference.
But how we doing, Dodgers Nation? Let's go.
Doug hasn't been live for a while, so he's excited. And later on in our podcast audio-only thing, we're going to be talking about Joe Kelly's in-and-out order, and I'm going to give my steamy reaction to in-and-out.
Yeah, he has strong opinions on it because,
why not?
What else are we doing?
Why not? Guys, before we get into the show, we got to remind you this is podcast. So if you want to find us on iTunes, iHeartRadio, Google Play, Stitcher Radio, Pandora, everywhere, everything they're called these days, wherever your podcasts are available for free, we live there. Do download us there. Do rate and review us there. We'd very much appreciate it. Check us out on DodgersNation.com/ or whatever. I guess /subscribe. That's one way to do it. Or YouTube.com/DodgersNationTV. I remembered the line.
Good job. We're very proud of you for that. It's like you've been doing this for
30 years.
Many episodes now. I don't even know what episode this is. 257?
257.
Oh, we're almost at 300, guys. On 300, we're going to kill Doug.
Hell yeah.
Live in studio. Guys, don't forget.
Slaughter Cam.
This is a live stream. We do this every damn Monday.
I'm a ghost.
Even when baseball is dead and canceled and not. There's no happiness. There's never been happiness, to be fair. But don't forget, we do this every Monday. Be here, or else I'm not going to talk to you ever again. Guys, drop into the stream. Let us know we're repping Dodger Nation tonight. We want to talk to you guys. We want to see what's up. A lot of people checking in on me after last week. I appreciate you guys.
Your official Hot Ones update?
Yeah, IE Doyers, I think, was in the stream, too. I think I saw with the fire edit, which is fantastic and very sensual. And
we were there.
Please don't let my mom see that video. It's not going to go well. Dave Luna, by the way, Doug, very excited that you're in the house. So
what up, Dave Luna? Thanks for rocking with us.
You got an all caps lock. Katie says that she turned off Endgame for this show, so it better be good.
Wow.
It's almost like Endgame is on Disney Plus no matter what day of the week it is or what hour, and we are only on at 7:00 on Mondays.
We can also be on at any hour. We just won't be live, and Endgame will never be live again. God, you remember when like On Your Left happened in the theater?
Yeah. Oh, even I was excited. I don't get excited about anything.
Yeah, that's true. You don't really have happy.
Swag Daddy McGee says, I knew there wasn't going to be baseball once Brook sold out and cut his mullet. Guys,
mullet is gone.
It's gone, but it's already started again. I've decided I'm going back already because I hate looking like this.
Do you not enjoy all the cop references immediately?
No, it's terrible. Guys, I hate it so much.
I'm just saying, you turn into a cop and I got a ticket today.
Coincidence?
He set it up.
I just would like to point something out to you guys. Just for a moment, I'm just going to, use my platform to point this out. When I said I was going to grow a mullet, there was an uproar, if you will. A lot of people very angry about it, really upset with it. Like, why would you do that? That's stupid. Don't do that. And then all of a sudden, I cut my hair, and people are like, that's really stupid. I don't understand this. Why would you do that? Can you guys just make up your damn minds?
People don't like change.
That's true. I hate change, personally.
No matter when it is. But they'll get used to your crap. And then if you change again and change back, they get even. I like, by the way, I like my peripheral. I see D-Mac pulling a Everett in the corner, trying to flash the fake ring over there. But
I think you should I like the mullet. Bring back the mullet, or at least just mullet over. You know what I'm saying?
I get
Consider it. But hair looks great no matter what. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Lexi brings up a good point. She says the stash, though. And a lot of people were like, you better not cut that thing off. Except my sister, because she's a hater.
We have an update.
We're going to Eric Cam.
Session number 7 just began. Per Jesse Rogers of the ESPN, Evan Drellich of The Athletic reports Megan Sword and Pat Houlihan of MLB have walked across a mostly dark parking lot to the players' side. And the day full of parking lot updates continues. So they're still talking. There is hope.
Are they going to make a deal or rob someone? What's the deal here?
Or steal Scherzer's Porsche.
Yeah. Or Garrett Cole's rented Mustang.
Listen, I have a whole problem with the stupid car updates. Why do we care about the cars that these players are driving, these rental cars these players are driving into these negotiations?
No, Max Scherzer drove his all the way from New York.
Oh.
Forget cars. Rob Manfred is driving the sport into the ground.
Oh. Okay. Have I pushed the button yet?
But I do think it's pretty funny how we've analyzed every single one of these little parking lot things, like Matt Scherzer dropping his phone. That's all we have to talk about, really. These little micro updates about the interactions with they're going to their 7th session, and it's just I don't know.
Thanks for invalidating my job.
Yeah,
I appreciate that.
No, I'm saying obviously we're tuning in, but
shout out.
It's I don't know, man. I'm at the point where hit me up when we have a deal at this point. I'm following the back and forth closely, but I think a lot of fans are just fed up with basically all the micro details of the negotiations at this point. But look, like you said, the fact that they're still negotiating as long as they have. In 1990, they negotiated for 17 hours and didn't strike a deal until 5:30 something in the morning. So hopefully either we just stay up all night till a deal is reached, or we wake up to some great news regarding baseball. But yeah, it appears that they're still. I've been here chilling here playing baseball and drinking beer, so I'm not completely up to the minute. But yeah, it does seem like they're heading in the right direction.
I like how it sounds like we have a real workspace now, but people just hear what we do here. They're like, they eat hot wings, they drink beer, they play baseball inside. And if based on our social media and everything that we do, you would think that's all we do, because for the most part,
Listen, we don't live stream when we're actually working, because that would be too much effort. A couple more comments here. Ari Swerdlow says, Doug, congrats on getting married. Marriage is the leading cause of divorce in America, in case you didn't know. Brian says, I heard your mom is in the meetings. Friend of the show.
Oh, yeah. People, you got to watch the whole season.
You got to watch the
update. It's already over. Session number 7 is already over, according to Bob Nightingale.
Ooh. Oh, session is still knee-deep in session. Bob Nightingale, friend of the show. All right. Well, I guess we already kind of got into some of the lockout updates. That one shouldn't be too bad. That one was beer top. But it is supposed to be Judgment Day. This was alleged Judgment Day in baseball. We've heard threats for the last couple of days or weeks or whatever it is, that if this day, if they didn't have a deal done, opening day would be canceled or pushed back. Any day you start the season, whenever it is, it's opening day. But still, if it gets pushed back, they might do it for a week. They might do it for a month. MLB doubled down in the morning on the threat of canceling opening day, and possibly, like I said, that up to a month of regular season games. I don't know if where we're at right now is Eric, do you take this as good news or bad news time?
I think they're going to extend the deadline one more day, but all the reports say they're still far apart on some key issues, which seems like the CBT and the postseason.
Yeah, the big thing right now is the postseason. That's what the insiders are calling are the players' biggest leverage play or leverage point. MLB wants 14-team postseason, which is basically half of baseball gets to make the playoffs. And the player side will give them 12, but if they get get more money and figure out the more money stuff and what they're looking for, then they would give them the 14-team thing.
Right.
Obviously, Doug, we've had some reactions to 14 teams. This seems a little hacky. But that's where we're at right now. Again, there's a month that they're threatening of basically canceling April, which sucks. I like April baseball. It is fun. Once again, that would put a damper on Jackie Robinson Day at Dodger Stadium. So no respect from baseball right there. And the worst part of all of this is it's ruled by a group of the smallest, cheapest owners in baseball. Sucks. Sucks a load of butts.
Yeah,
Analysis.
I can't tell you how much I hate the idea of a 14-team playoff field. I think 10 is. I think 12. If it's 12 to not cancel any games, then you can sign me up just to get the season going. But 14 teams is almost half the league. I don't care how many teams you add. The Mariners are not going to make the playoffs. Okay, so let's just get that out of the way. And yeah, it almost sounds like, wait a second. So you got 14 teams. So now owners will have to spend less. To me, that's going to de-incentivize trying to have owners spend on players when almost half the league makes the postseason. Now, I guess if you we are going to have the buys for some of the top teams and some of these ghost wins like we were talking about. You're going to incentivize some of those big teams. And look, all we know here in Los Angeles is really competing for titles and competing for division titles. And look, if you're Los Angeles, look, we can still look at it as saying, look, we want to get that buy. We want to get that ghost win. So there's incentive to win 106. And I know it's crazy.
This is where we're at in the game.
Ghost win.
About ghost wins.
Look, it's crazy. The ghost win, it's like, do they get paid for the ghost win? I don't know. Who gets the win? But yeah, to me, I think 14 teams is excessive. We know what the owners want. They make the most money off the postseason.
Yep.
They have to spend less to get their teams to the postseason. I think that it's just going to be interesting because, these ownership groups can be like, oh, we made it to the postseason. Our fan base should be happy. But it'll be very interesting to see because, look, baseball does have more parity than most sports. We see the Marlins, you see the Nationals. You can catch lightning in a bottle and the magic of October make a run. But I'm curious to see how many of those teams at the very ends are going to really compete for titles. I just don't like the idea of 14, just being quite frank with you guys.
Got thoughts on that, Chief?
Yeah. Well, good news is if you get 14 teams in, Padres will probably make the playoffs again. So good for them. Good for their fans. Good for their.
Paid a lot of money.
Good for the sheriff. The guy who's going to be better than Clayton Kershaw. Good on you guys for figuring that out. Good for your error-prone shortstop. Good for your terrible pitching staff. Good for your terrible fan base. Good for your. You got a good park.
It's a nice park.
It's a good park. Yeah. But you guys suck.
Good area.
I don't know what to tell you. Garbage team. Third place. No playoffs.
People are not happy, of course, about 14-team playoffs here in the chat. People are not happy about the small market teams, understandably, because they are costing us the start of a regular season, at least at the moment. And these are the people that take the most advantage of the CBT or that competitive balance tax, which is essentially free money from the teams that are actually wanting to win. And we've talked a lot about the idea of a CBT acting as a fake salary cap, an unofficial salary cap where only the richest teams are going over it. Last year it was the Dodgers and the Padres. How'd the Padres do again? Oh, that's right. But you're going to get teams, the Yankees, as soon as they have to start paying, a couple of the younger guys again or whatever they have. I don't know. Do they have younger guys? Yankees suck, right?
Yankees suck.
If they want to bring Aaron Judge back, just saying. The Mets are going to spend a butt ton of money. And why should these teams that want to win get penalized and pay the other teams money to not spend it in free agency? It's really dumb, and it's very much in the ownership's favor. And that's why we're here arguing and why, players have said they're willing and ready to also miss some paychecks, also miss some regular season games. And I think when MLB found that out, they're like, ooh, oh no, what did we do?
Did you
pulled a real boner there, Rob Manfred?
Did you hear the argument that MLB would be okay with canceling April games or pushing them back or something like that because baseball has not been very popular in April in years past?
They got to stop having this threat of, baseball's not that important or not that whatever, or not that profitable. All of their arguments are kind of bullshit by this point.
So here's the thing with the 14 teams, by the way. You're playing 162 games in a season, right? If you're playing that many games, you're putting a lot of dudes at risk for no reason because you're probably going to make the playoffs anyways. As long as you're a decent team, as long as you can finish above 500, you're probably going to make the playoffs. You're probably going to be one of the teams in. So it almost nullifies the length of the season. You almost get to a point where you're like, okay, well, if it's that many teams, why don't we just play a 80-game season?
Yeah.
Like, what's the point of playing all of them and just like going through the motions? We're just going through extended spring training at this point. Like, it's pointless. Like, why let all of those teams in? Why put yourself in a position where people can be cheap and probably want to be cheap and prefer to be cheap? Why put your teams in a position where tank and get draft picks and do whatever you want to do? There's so many problems with the current climate of Major League Baseball. So many problems. I love that with all the problems around Major League Baseball, they choose to focus on the least important ones, the worst things. They're like, yeah, you know what? Sticky stuff is a problem. Let's get on top of it. Like, no one was asking for that. None of us were like, hey, look into like basics tax stuff that people use.
MLB leadership is so disconnected from the important things of the game.
We were like, pay minor leaguers, and they're like, pitch clock? Is that what you said? Pitch clock? Yeah, I heard pitch clock.
Oh, man. Fun times, guys.
Get Angel Hernandez out of the game. Do something, man. Do something productive.
That's a whole other union.
Jackasses.
Thing. Players obviously have been reacting much today. I know Eric has kept abreast of the situation on the player side, and we'll have an update on the latest that all the players are complaining about, or being tongue-in-cheek about, and also being 100% right. I mean, we saw Walker Buehler do his classic tweet and delete over the weekend, or last week, I think Thursday, where he was right. He was on the right point, like all of them have been, but Walker just gets a few bourbons in him. He's like, I feel like a treat right now, and then he wakes up in the morning, he's like, ugh.
all that neck. He's got a lot to say.
Yeah, a lot of neck. Yeah. But we got any updates over there in the Eric Cam corner?
Nothing.
Breaking. Bob Collins,
which is good because I don't want to bore Doug with the updates that I was asked to do.
Like the reporter from Family Guy.
Players have been reacting all day. The biggest ones we've seen are Bryce Harper posting an edit of himself in a Yomiuri Giants jersey because apparently they're unemployed. They can go play foreign baseball. Doug, would you become a Nippon Professional Baseball League fan if that is where many of the big leaguers go, even though they can't, accept that many big leaguers?
I mean, I think I remember when during COVID everyone was trying to jump on the KBO, but back then you didn't have a lot of Major League talent. But if there were a lot of MLB players that would flock to Japan, and I probably would watch just because I'm a junkie. But at the end of the day, I hope it doesn't happen. I mean, I don't want to see all the great players go to Japan and just have wasted years. I mean, like the Mike Trouts, the Mookie Bettses, all these great players that really, how many years they have left in their prime to just waste these years going abroad. I know it's a joke. You saw,
Joey
Gallo's
LinkedIn
LinkedIn page. I mean, I hope that doesn't happen. I really think that. I mean, I don't want to see. Like Mookie on the Hiroshima Toyo Carp or whatever it is.
Yeah, he'd just take a bowl or stick with bowling.
Yeah, he'd probably just do some. Yeah, he'd probably do something else. But I mean, me personally, I think that's all fun and games. I mean, I remember when Walker Buehler during their other lockout, he was telling the Rams to pick him up as a kicker and stuff like that. But look, it's all just trying to get this league to where it needs to be. And I think what it comes down to, like you said, the leadership is atrocious. You have Rob Manfred. Just not, he's supposed to be a steward of the game, and really, he just hasn't gotten it done. And Tony Clark, the Players Association as well. And just look at this point, I'm just not very happy and enthusiastic. This is the time of the year where we're at spring training, we're previewing everyone, we're just ramping up for the season, and it's just about excitement, And right now, it's just kind of. It's just, like you said, a lot of back and forth. And, I mean, at the end of the day, going back to the 14-team playoff, if the players could get more, if they could get more money, if they could get more of what they're asking for, maybe I could, because, at the end of the day, they're not getting their fair share. I mean, let's just be honest here. They're not really getting what they deserve as far as, talk about just not even meeting inflation at this point. And, look, I stand with the players. I understand what they're fighting for, and look, they've gone owned by the owners so many different times, but like you said, Brook, too. I mean, the month of April, it's proven to be historically the least profitable month for a myriad of different reasons, but at the same token, I don't know. I mean, to me, I think it's special when spring starts and we're at opening day and you have all the pageantry and fanfare surrounding the game. So to kind of miss that out and start in May and in June.
Yeah. I don't want to deal with the stupid summer camp thing again. That was whack. I don't want to see that. I mean, it wouldn't be the same. They would still, I'm assuming, do some sort of spring training at these complexes, but it'll be weird. It'll be truncated. Like, how are they going to get fans in there at the right time and in the right way? It's really dumb. Which has the Rob Manfred seal of approval whenever it's dumb.
I think it's funny that Doug's worried about wasting Mike Trout seasons, where that was going to happen, lockout or not.
Hey, man. Baseball's a regular season sport, though. When you talk about legacy, and that's the thing. I think it's unfortunate, really. I mean, like you said, it's the poverty owners, too, that are holding this back. Yeah. I mean, they're having these meetings in Jupiter. They should send them to Pluto. We don't need these poverty. They should force these guys to sell the team because, look, to sell these franchises that really just they're not investing enough and they're not – it's just uncompetitive. So it really hurts the sport. And, I think baseball is just kind of in bad shape. I mean, if you look at last year, attendance – took a big hit. I think it was like over 45 million people. Attendance was down 33% in 2021. It was like at 68 million in 2019. Ratings were down.
Yeah, but
12.
Those are also still old numbers. Like they're not taking into account as much the people who look at the highlights on Twitter. There are so many different ways to take in a ball game than the old boob tube.
Well, just look at the average age of a baseball fan. It's 57, which is like how old Albert Pujols was in 2006. So, the baseball has so many problems beyond just collective bargaining at the moment. So I think it really needs to be a collective effort and to try to grow the game with visionaries and innovators. And, it's just – I think a lot of fans, you saw people on Twitter talking about how they're canceling their MLB TV subscriptions and things like that, and fans kind of angered by all this. But I think as soon as they reach a deal, we'll all get excited. We'll put this behind us, and hopefully we won't have to worry about it for
a fair deal.
A fair deal. Yeah, I'll take any deal really at this point. But
give me baseball, free baseball.
I think if they don't fix things soon, you're gonna, pull up to like the McDonald's in Westwood, and Cody's gonna be at the window going, "Would you like fries with that?"
Dude.
We gotta fix this real quick.
Everyone's gonna have to find new gigs.
So assuming
that's a segment.
Assuming that baseball is not going to start at the same or on time at the time that we have all marked on our calendar, the holiday known as opening day. What are going to be our alternative plans? Our alternative opening day plans, because I don't know about y'all, but I'm still celebrating opening day because it's my God-given right to.
Is there any other holidays in April?
Nothing important.
Easter.
Oh, the Easter Bunny's birthday's in April?
Yeah. That's one of them fake
underrated day to go to Dodger Stadium. Easter Sunday.
Never been there for that.
It's usually empty. It's awesome.
Oh, I might have to do that
time.
if we have baseball this year.
Yeah, they're not letting us in.
April Fool's Day is a big one too. It's a big one for me. It's a big holiday.
Hey, that's when I'm
tax day.
That's when you're moving into your house.
There's a Dodgers game today. April Fool's.
I know, right? But yeah, alternative plans. When the COVID happened, Brook and I got out to the baseball field and threw baseballs around, and we hurt ourselves because that's just what we do. You're the oldest young boy,
right,
in the history of the universe and all the other places too.
Yeah.
I'm just old and husky, as they say.
He thick.
9 C's.
Damn.
I don't think we're going to do that this year, but I think, we still got to have, maybe here in the office, we'll put on an old baseball game. This is my plan. We'll put on a baseball game. What's a good game? What's a game you want to watch for opening day, Eric?
Homer at bat.
We're going to watch Homer at the bat, and everybody can watch along with us too. Mr. Burns has done it.
If you guys knew the number of Simpsons references that go on in this office,
it's a good time.
It would drive you nuts.
I would say Kershaw no hitter, but that isn't very exciting to watch. Like, it's a great game, but it's kind of tough to watch a no hitter again.
I feel like the last opening day we watched in this office we should do, which is the 8 home run.
The Diamondbacks one?
Yeah, where they just absolutely tanked Greinke. That was a good time. So maybe we'll watch that. What I'm thinking, what we were talking about earlier.
Zach Tanky.
We set it up, but we're going to do it opening day, 1 o'clock. and everybody tune in at that time. We'll watch the game together on some YouTube free stream or whatever, and then afterwards we'll post game. Doug will crush it, make it seem like it's all real, and we won't be crying
like we're time travelers or something.
Yeah.
I like that. I love that idea.
I think it's going to be a good time.
I like this kid Samuel's tenacity. Every week he asks if he can be on the show and says he'll do it for free. Samuel, we weren't going to pay you, even if you were going to be on the show. I respect the hustle. I respect the grind, but kindly, no. You cannot be on the show. Maybe one day when we get the calls going, we've talked about that for a very long time. One day, if we ever got calls going, maybe we'll do it into the audio version of things because we can cut that out.
That's a good idea. We'll have the audio only be one caller a week.
There you go. And it'll be Swag Daddy McGee every single week.
Board.
Put it on the board. Doug, write it on the board behind you, bud. Doug doesn't know how to write. But that's my plan. We'll come in here. We'll make some hot dogs. We'll have some helmet nachos. That's it. That's all I got. Beer, and we'll charge each other $14.50 each beer, each tall can. That's my plan. You guys got plans? What would be your alternative to no opening day? How would you, Brook Me 3, celebrate an opening day?
Oh yeah.
Hopefully, including us, your friends.
Oh, you have to be there. I was literally about to say go to a place where there's no people. So that's perfect timing. If I could just get on a little boat and go out into the middle of a lake and fish for 19 hours.
You don't strike me as a
chest of beer.
Fisherman.
I'm actually a really good fisherman, surprisingly.
Cat fisherman.
Ayo. Yeah, because I'm ugly.
So no baseball? Wow, you're just going to ban baseball?
I'm not going to watch baseball that I've already seen. I've seen that episode already. I'm not going to watch it again.
Cuck. Eric, what's your go-to there?
If there is no actual opening day?
Yeah, no, if there's no opening day, yeah. No actual opening day on March 31st. What's on Eric Yulo's to-do list to celebrate the holiday?
Probably watch a nice vintage Summer of Puig game. I think would probably be my little celebration.
Perhaps maybe his favorite home run of all time game?
That's not Summer of Puig, but yeah, maybe.
All right.
It's not.
Actually, no, I would never watch Game 4 of the 2018 World Series again.
You spoiled it. I haven't read that article yet on DodgersNation.com. Check it out. Tim is with Brook. Tim,
I said you can't come with me. There's no... Just kidding. Well, that's what I'm saying. Go, just be, in nature and pretend like you enjoy your life.
Trent's going to be rehabbing with Anthony Davis back here. Yeah, was AD. He's on the floor until he gets better.
He can't do anything.
He's used to that.
How about them Lakers, guys?
No, we're not doing that.
Doug, what's your thing? How are you going to celebrate?
Man.
Opening day, non-opening day.
It's going to be a holiday. It's going to be sad because, like you said, are there any holidays in April? Well, I mean, it's March 31st. That is a holiday. Yeah. Opening day is a holiday. But maybe I think I'll just wake up at 3 a.m. and watch every Ken Burns baseball, just around the clock, all 11 innings. Just, bring it back. As far as classic games goes, man, I think one from the Puig era, that would be pretty amazing. I like the opening day. I think 2013 opening day, Kershaw hits the go-ahead home run.
Ooh, good game.
I think that would be where I would, as far as watching a Dodger game, it had to be an opening day. I like seeing the bunting, the red, white, and blue.
No, they don't bunt.
Yeah.
They don't bunt.
No bunts.
The bunting, it's the pageantry, I think I would do that, but, I mean, real talk, if there's a basketball game on, I'll probably be watching basketball that day. Man, maybe I'll watch, I'll just maybe go on a baseball movie marathon. Watch all Major League 2, so underrated. Couldn't hit dirt if he fell off a camel.
Wait, have you seen Homer at bat?
Yeah. I mean, you guys know I'm a Simpsons junkie too.
Give me good players, living players.
Jesus says nonstop rager at the shortstop.
I love this plan.
I mean, that's not a bad one. I mean,
you can't come. You're gonna be on a boat.
Yeah, I'll be on a boat at the shortstop. Leslie says Leslie says my opening day plan's working. Leslie stays working, man. She's a grinder.
Thug life. Didn't choose it. Chooses you. Enrique's gonna be keeping up with Liverpool Football Club without Dodger baseball.
Steven's stealing my plan. It's going fishing, getting drunk. See, it's a good plan, man. I'm telling you, that sounds like a good day regardless if there's no baseball. Might just go do that even if the opening day is happening.
On a boat.
On a boat.
All right.
With a little
tagging you in as co-host of the pregame show.
I'm there.
You live here.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I can't really leave.
Eric lives here on Mondays and Tuesdays, guys.
Parts of Wednesday.
Into Wednesday. Exactly. Well, that's your MLB lockout up to the minute update. Fun times.
Jose says, let Kershaw go. Jose, I will let your mom go.
Listen, the mullet didn't change the game, all right?
I'm still the same scumbag.
Swollen Sausage wants us to make some sausage.
You see Swollen Sausage announce himself?
I miss James Brown.
Swollen Sausage in the set.
Rest in peace, James Brown, legend in the stream. One quick break. We do got to thank Eric for providing, getting this sign, this World Series Champions neon sign. There was some love early in the stream, and that came from Eric. It was a gift. It's a gift for the family, you jerk. But quality add to the thing. Brook almost died to put that up a little bit. And he also ate some very old Tootsie Rolls, and I think he chipped a tooth.
It's still up there.
Yeah. Well, you're bad at cleaning your crap up.
Yeah, you know what's funny is like when I'm in my own space, I'm very good at cleaning up after myself. When I'm in like public spaces, I'm just like...
Tragedy of the commons for sure.
This isn't public.
What is he talking about?
This is Eric's house. This is Eric's house. This is where we're at now.
Sorry,
I'm doing balance can.
I can't take full credit for the sign. That was really my old boss.
Just
Mr.
go
Carey
with
Sile.
it, my guy.
I mean, I was the middleman. I was the philanderer. That's fair.
The philanderer.
There's no more updates, so I'm pretty useless over here.
Yeah. Are they done? Are they done for the evening?
It just says.
Are they walking in the dark parking lot?
None of the five reporters there have tweeted an update. So if it doesn't happen on Twitter, does it really happen at all?
You know how we did the wings challenge, and that was wildly popular amongst our viewers.
Yeah.
If there's no opening day, I think we should just sit in the boat. We should sit face to face with cameras on us and go beer for beer until one of us collapses.
And Doug is
first round exit.
Doug's our
I'm a 16 seed.
You're
a one.
You're a premier ball boy here. Phrasing, but you could be the beer guy.
Yeah, I'll just beer you.
Or Eric, you could be the beer guy. Doug, you be the peanuts guy.
I have my tolerance on the cruise though. I'm not gonna lie. I can crush like 3.5 now. You know what I'm saying?
So literally.
Yeah.
Literally.
It's all boys.
2 hours before the show, Doug was like, "I'm gonna drink my beer now, so I don't get too drunk on the stream."
Hey man, I like to party, baby.
Thug life.
That'd be cool too. What if we had almost like a Nathan's hot dog eating contest with us four on opening day? I think where it's like real OG style, where they wet the buns and it's like, or we make it try to eat as many. Who can eat the most Dodger dogs? That could be one.
That's a no from me, Doug.
Ryan has been posting Andy Martino updates, and I saw them, but I refuse to acknowledge them because man blocked me for no reason.
Yeah, didn't you get blocked?
Wow.
Update. Dan Hanlon, deputy commissioner and MLB's lead negotiator, is on his way to the players' side. He's walking across the parking lot, Doug.
Dan Hamlin.
Hit me up when there's.
But what did he drive? What did he drive?
He went home earlier.
Avis Camry 2017 did not buy
which shade of Dockers does he have on?
He did not buy the bumper-to-bumper insurance, which is dangerous for rental.
All right. Trent wants us to do sports trivia if no opening day. It's a thing.
That'd be fun.
What about Simpsons trivia?
That'd be great.
All right. Let's change the subject.
Son of a bitch.
Eric, you pop in when you got an update. You go, and that's when we know to go to you. Doug did, he put in some work on the interweb machine. This is a shameless plug of a thing Doug did. This is the greatest home runs of all time, greatest Dodgers home runs of all time. This was a thing we did. We posted on Twitter a couple weeks ago. Some folks ran with it. Our friends over at Locked On Dodgers ran with something with this. So shout out to Jeff and Vince. But
my name is
this turned out to be a fun little project for you. So tell folks about it, a bit about it, some of the surprise dingers that happened for you. And then we're all going to pick our favorite, because why not? That's a thing we're doing. There's no baseball.
Yeah, it was definitely
We could be in spring training right now.
We should. It was definitely a really fun project. So basically, we're on Twitter, and I was thinking, look, everyone, what is the greatest? Like I always say, there's epic home runs, then there's the home run, and that's Kirk Gibson's home run in Game 1 of the 1988 World Series. So if we just ask, what's the greatest home run in Dodgers history, everyone's going to say that. But the question was, what is the greatest home run in Dodgers history other than Kirk Gibson's home run? And we also actually, I asked you, what is your favorite? So it's not necessarily what is the greatest one.
That's good. My bad.
Yeah.
I'll show myself out.
Oh, no. I mean, I said greatest first. So, yeah, we had so many great responses. Some were ones that were a little more meaningful, like Mike Scioscia's in 1988. We had that without Scioscia, you couldn't have Gibby's walk off, and then you had Rick Monday, Blue Monday in 1981. Then there were some lesser known ones like Frank Howard in the 1963 World Series that was the top second deck in Dodger Stadium. So really what it turned out to be was kind of some of these ones we may have forgotten about, like Nomo's first bomb in 1988, the time Mike Piazza left the stadium, and in 1997 where he hit one out. So, yeah, you had some that we all remember. Justin Turner's in 2017. Then there were some that you kind of might have forgotten about, like James Loney's Grand Slam in 2008. So if you're like us,
Chi-Town?
Yeah, and you're growing up, and that was a big home run at the time because it was so inept in the playoffs. The struggles were real, and for him to get that jack, it was just kind of a nice trip down memory lane. So many great Dodgers moments and so many great tweets from you guys. I mean, really gave me chills with some of your takes. And you know what the ones that really hurt me, though, I have to admit, when I was doing this was two from the Astros series. The Trash-risks was game one, bang, starts the World Series. Yeah. And then the Seager
underrated
screen.
Call from Joe Buck.
It really was. Yeah. I actually was at that game, and I poured beer on my face. It was great. And there was 100
That's not
degrees.
what you did. Move on.
But some of those ones were like, it's almost like, what is your favorite home run in a loss? And I think watching all those, my favorite one was definitely Yasiel Puig. Game 4, 2018 World Series. We had the momentum after the walk-off from Muncy's walk-off in the 18th inning, and for him to hit that that bomb right there to get that jack. My favorite part, I don't know if it was the home run, Kobe cheering, or Eduardo Rodriguez slamming his glove. And it was just a great moment. And look, if it wasn't for Dave Roberts, maybe that goes down as one of the most iconic home runs because you even up that series.
Such a roller coaster.
Yeah, it really was.
Such a 5-minute span roller coaster for Dodger fans. I mean, that's almost like I don't recall a home run. Everybody thinks back to Matt Stairs off Broxton, but still, like that series, like you're here and then you are just down in the dumps immediately. But good pull. What was the most voted on? You know what? If people want to know the most voted on, they're going to have to go check out the video at DodgersNation.com/.
The most. That's a good.
YouTube.com/DodgersNationTV. Nailed it.
I would say the
breaking.
Here
John Heyman reports MLB
DMCA'd
is expected to make another proposal within 30 minutes. Chance to beat deadline, of course. With today's progress, they could keep talking tomorrow.
All right, keep those updates coming. I'm loving them, baby.
Talking update. How many? Who's in the parking lot?
I have no further parking lot.
You got the parking lot.
Who did that come from?
That latest update was John Heyman.
Okay. Right now, I kind of feel like I'm only trusting Heyman and Passan.
I don't trust Heyman at all.
Yeah, but at least he's like there.
Like 3 days ago, he was like, "There's a lot of optimism."
Well, yeah, I mean, because he's also saying what the owners want him to say.
Then why would you trust that guy?
Because he's there.
That doesn't mean anything.
Boots
There's fans
on
just sitting outside.
the ground.
I like how even the reporters are locked out. Like they're just behind the bars.
I know. It's so bad. Trent Thomas is Will Smith versus Will Smith. That was, in the grand scheme of things, a pretty legendary bombski, as they say.
That was massive. It changed the series completely. I mean, without that, we probably don't get Cody Bellinger in Game 7.
Nope.
Probably don't get the Kike game-tying one.
We don't get that sign right here.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of things don't happen. Will Smith, and just, I mean, those at-bats in that series, in that comeback, were just remarkable.
I mean, there's so many fantastic options, too. Like where you said, Muncy's 18th inning bomb, that was something that was a really, really special moment that sadly
it's over.
Didn't mean anything in the long run of things.
Cody's Game 7 bomb was pretty...
I would say that was the most. You asked me which is the most popular one. That was definitely it. Yeah.
So mine is the first thing I thought of. Like, I have no real solid answer in this. The first thing I thought of was one that I really enjoyed, and that was the Hong-Chi Kuo home run. Because that was just so stupid and funny. It shouldn't have happened. It made no sense. It was a legendary moment. So that's what I'm going with, because why not? Built different. Did you have one, Guy? Did you say one? I wasn't paying attention.
I mean, the Cody 2020 Game 7 was probably one of the best I've ever seen. I mean, in that moment, 2020 was a weird year for him. Mm-hmm. It wasn't like bad. but it really wasn't good, especially coming off the 2019 season. But that was such like a pivotal, like that was the icing on top of like a massive comeback in a championship series. Like it was just wild. Like they were down 3-1, everything was going terribly, and all of a sudden your game 7, dude hits a dong off of Chris Martin, right? And that just like changed the dynamic of the game. From there, it was just over. So I think that's one of the big ones for me. JT's NLCS home run was also pretty huge. I remember watching that. I was at like a softball game, sitting like on the bench watching it, and then he hit it, and I was like, ah!
Yeah, I would say those are the two.
Lackey, so good.
Those are like the two most common ones. The JT one. I think my favorite tweet from a fan about the JT one was like someone said like I was 10 miles away and I could still hear the roar from Dodger Stadium after that JT one. That one
was my favorite. I was there for that. I have never felt a building shake more. That was my original one this morning, but yeah, that was incredible.
I will say I was at Game 2 of the 17 World Series when Corey hit that bomb, and that place, I've never felt it that loud. It was rocking.
Is that when he actually showed human emotion?
Yeah, when Corey came to life, and they're like, "Oh, he's not a robot."
Human emotion.
That's pretty wild. So that one was probably up there.
I like how long he was like holding onto the bat on that one. He's like holding it for like an hour, like
just screaming.
But yeah, I would say the 2017 when JT hit that one was like, okay, we're gonna go back to the World Series for the first time. Oh, we got an update.
Trent. Thank you.
That's
another one.
4. Yeah.
Goribe's Game 4 bomb. When he muffed the bunt. Oh my God! I was in a bar, and that was the best bar baseball game experience I've ever had in my life. Like Dodger bar, all of us chilling, raging, popping, locking.
I was at a bar in San Diego during the 18 when Muncy hit that walk-off dong.
Mm-hmm. Is that why you weren't at the thing?
Yeah,
also 100%. You weren't invited.
I was at a bachelor party or whatever, and we were the only Dodgers fans in there, and everybody was yelling at us, and it was great. We went on to lose the series, of course, but we got that night.
Eric, give us your thoughts on that real quick. Go ahead. What's your dong?
Game 1 of the 2017 World Series, Chris Taylor's Jack was there for that with my mom. Very cool. But
she's a nice lady.
Underrated, in my opinion, is Steve Finley's Grand Slam 2004 to beat the Giants and take the NL West.
God, that was such a great...
And that's when the Dodgers really sucked. So those little wins matter.
Such a great build-up.
That was before we were a jaded fan base.
Yeah. Dodgers legend. Just before that, Dodgers legend Jason Worth tied it up with a walk or a single or a double. Worth. I was a big-time Worth fan. That's why I wear 28. Still my favorite Dodger for some reason because, again, I'm weird, and why not? Anyway, what you were saying, too, got me thinking. Cody's been sneaky, a sneaky big-time...
Sneaky clutch home run guy.
Postseason guy after being god-awful in 17 and mostly meh in 18-19. But, you put together
he was
the hits...
in 19?
211 in the series.
Oh, postseason. Okay.
Yeah. I'm talking about postseason.
Okay.
So he's become sneaky decent in the postseason.
Gotcha.
And you look at 20. I mean, the defensive plays that he added to that series. Things. So, anyways, that was a shameless plug. If you guys have more to add, go check out Doug's video on YouTube.com/DodgersNationTV. Watch the video, see how you feel about things that were said there.
And also tell us which ones you think we omitted. I didn't include Kike's 3 home run game, CT3's 3 home run game, but yeah, I agree too. It's such an underrated one. I mean, down 3 going to the 9th. Yeah, is Turris, at third, but yeah, that Finley one was great. I love the hands up too, the reaction, Vince Paul was spectacular.
Wherever it goes, it's a hole or it's a game winner. Phenomenal.
Perfection from the GOAT.
Dodgers updates, of which there are few. Joe Kelly wants to come back to the Dodgers. Here we are. Dave Vassay report. Thankfully, I didn't have to listen to this one. Eric listened to it, but it was pretty straightforward. It was there is mutual interest between the two sides at a deal. I would assume they were working on something before the lockout. To me, it screams a little... I don't see it because of the Dan Herron signing, because Tommy Kahnle is going to be coming back, because they're adding Caleb Ferguson.
Dan Herron's back.
Did I say Herron? Yeah. Hudson. Dan Hudson.
It's ironic because I got crushed for forgetting Daniel Hudson last week in the bullpen breakdown.
They all look the same.
They all throw 88.
And Hudson threw me a baseball once. He was a nice fella. Anyway, Yeah, I don't know. I don't see where he fits in the bullpen. But again, if he wants to come back on a cheap deal, he's barely graduated to long tossing right now, so he's not an opening day candidate, of which there might not be one until much later anyway. But
Dodgers have a potential to have a lot of guys that are not going to be ready by opening day if there is an opening day. By the way, worth considering. 4 guys.
What are your thoughts on Joe Kelly, and how does that alter the potential 2022 bullpen as it stands? And this is assuming.
Well, I can tell you he's not going to get a $20 million contract again. I'll tell you that. But I mean, I don't know if he comes back at the right price. Sure, why not? Makes sense. He throws hard. He can be wildly effective.
Effectively wild podcast.
If he's healthy. But I don't know.
Not throwing 18 curveballs in a row.
He's a guy who fits the culture. He fits the clubhouse. He obviously likes being here. He enjoys being close to home. He gets to drive all the way home to the Inland Empire after ball games, which is that's rough. But I mean, it makes sense if he comes back at the right price, and I'm sure he would be willing to take less money to play here versus elsewhere because he likes being home.
He wants to be home. Nobody wants to go play for the Angels ever.
I also think he would play for the Angels if he got that money. So
it would be Dodgers.
The Angels would be bad to give him money, though.
We've all seen.
Angels need to give it to starting pitchers.
We've all seen Joe Kelly's house. I would want to pitch there or be home too. It's a nice
I would want
house.
to go live in a rental house in
party house.
Queens or something like that. I don't know where he's going.
You're breaking. He's going to the Mets.
Sources.
Kelly, you don't live.
There's already merch.
You don't live in the same city you play in. Everybody knows that. That's a rule.
Breaking news on that one. Yeah, I mean, if it happens, cool. You can never have too much pitching. We've seen that. You've been borderline staunch in your opinion that Phil Bickford was a one-year wonder. So to have another kind of dude as established as Kelly, better to have that kind of guy laying around. You really don't know what you're going to get out of a post TJ Canely.
That's true.
Noted gamer.
Point. Yeah, big-time gamer.
Big gamer boy. So
that's all he's been doing during his rehab. So
God, it feels good to talk baseball. Like transactions.
Is that what we've been doing?
Little bit of transactions. Dave Roberts extension talks apparently are underway-ish. Did you see anything about this one, my guy?
Yeah. I mean, he thinks, he told The Athletic that he expects the deal to get done. And I think that eventually they're going to bring back Dave Roberts. I think if you have any hope that the Dodgers are going to have a big managerial change, it's definitely not going to happen. He's going to be back with LA. I think it just comes down to, at this point, look, he does a lot of things really well. He maintains a positive clubhouse culture. He gets guys to buy in. Also, you have such a collection of talent in Los Angeles. He gets all-stars, future Hall of Famers to really buy into what the Dodgers do. So I also think that he rides the roller coaster of a 162-game season or a 60-game season like we're gonna have this year, really well. And I think that, Doc is still my guy. I know that you guys know that I'm as to me, I always say with Dave Roberts, he has to win 2 rings to win 1 ring. So they're not gonna give him credit for that 60-game season ring. He needs to win it in a full 162-game season. We know some of his moves in the past that were definitely not well received by Dodgers fans. 2019 NLCS.
He's won 2.
Ridge Hill, 2017. I mean,
he's 1-2.
And Clint, that's what I always say to Dodger fans. I always say,
but they played at home in Game 7.
And that's what I always say. You can't have it 2 ways, because if you truly believe that the Dodgers would have won the 2017 World Series had the Astros not been banging trash cans, then you're also saying that Dave Roberts is a manager that has 2 World Series titles and is on a Hall of Fame trajectory. So you're not going to fire or replace a Hall of Fame manager like Dave Roberts. And look, he has the charisma. He knows how to be a manager for a market like Los Angeles, a marquee franchise. Not a lot of guys could handle all the heat that would come their way like Dave Roberts can. So look, is there some things that he needs to improve upon? I think that, the big thing for me is if you're going to have the DH in the National League, it makes him a more attractive manager. Yeah. So he's, let's just be honest, it gives him less of a chance to, F up. So I think that Dave Roberts is still fine. I don't think that's, Dave Roberts didn't have dead arm in the NLCS. Dave Roberts didn't run out of gas like Julio Urias and Walker Buehler did. He didn't pull a hamstring like Justin Turner. So look, if he has a healthy roster last year, I'm pretty confident at the very least LA's back in the World Series and they beat the Astros. That's not an excuse. That is, to me, an explanation. So I think at this point, he's going to sign on with the Dodgers. There's a reason why Andrew Friedman gets paid $7 million a year, and he makes significantly more than Dave Roberts, because Dave Roberts knows how to execute the front office's strategy and embracing certain parts of analytics. But I think that's kind of one of the big misses when it comes to Dave Roberts is some of his worst moves were the most anti-analytics moves ever.
Yeah.
Hashtag Clayton Kershaw 2019 NLDS Game 5. So, I think they'll have him back. What do you guys think, though?
And miscommunication in Game 5 of the World Series 2018 with Rich Hill. That was him just not the moment potentially being too big for him. But still, Dave is the right guy to be running this team for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I've made it pretty vocal that I don't think he's a very good in-game manager. Sometimes that's not necessarily always the case, and it's my same opinion that people don't like about Kenley Jansen. Kenley Jansen is one of the best closers in Dodgers history. He actually is the best closer in Dodgers history, whether you like it or not. He's actually one of the best closers in the game of baseball's history. So you can suck it if you don't think that, and you're dumb. I don't know what else to tell you. Dave Roberts, very good player manager, has a lot of respect in the clubhouse, has really good relationships with players. You talk to anybody and they'll tell you that. You talk to anybody off the record, they'll probably tell you that. There's just no reason to think that he doesn't deserve this contract, because Dave Roberts absolutely deserves a contract extension for as long as that he wants to be a Dodgers manager. Who else are you going to go with? People are like, get Mike Scioscia. And I'm like, why? What do you want to do? What did he do after he won the 2002 World Series? He sat on his hands for 10 more years. He didn't do anything. He was a terrible manager. He had everything at his everything Artie, that he wanted. No.
Artie,
so don't start with Artie though, because he had everything that he wanted in front of him. He had the pieces. He had the money to be spent on people. He had the free agent signings. He had all these things, and then Mike Scioscia sat there and was just like, "I'm tired. I'm going to sit down."
And Washburn,
no disrespect.
And Washburn couldn't beat the Red Sox for the life of them. Like the 8 times they met up again in the postseason right after. They couldn't get out of the ALDS for like 5 years in a row.
There's this weird.
And then they got Mike Trout, and they're like, "Oh, we don't remember how to get to the playoffs anymore."
Eric Gagne's better than Jansen. Yeah, for like one season. Like what does that mean? We're talking about a career. You're talking about like a very good stretch of games. I mean, when Gagne was at his peak, he was at his freaking peak, and I have nothing but respect for that man. But to say that he is a better closer and has a better career than Kenley Jansen, that's so stupid. Like there is nothing intelligent about that argument. That's somebody who watches 1 year of baseball and is like, I have made my decision and I cannot be changed on it. Stupid. I don't understand it.
Better walkout music.
Oh, who has better walkout music?
No. Gagne had the better walkout music.
Yeah,
because just the silence, like the.
It definitely
and having it just reverberate around the stadium. It was an electric. People stayed into the 9th inning for Dodger games,
watching him come
just to see Eric Gagne pitch.
Yeah,
he was he was popcorn television, but Kenley's better closer as a whole. You're talking about a 3-year spurt versus 10 of 12 seasons of dominance at Kenley Jansen or whatever the hell it is. Some solid comments from the comments. Swollen Sausage says, barf, barf, barf. Stephen Mullen says, no, get rid of Roberts. Swollen Sausage says, dude put Lux in center field for the first time in the NLDS. Lame.
Not a Doc decision, by the way.
Not quite a Doc decision. Yeah. Tim says, our boy Tim Rogers says, Doc makes many bad decisions, but he's the manager for as long as he wants. Which is the right decision.
Tim is one of the strongest or most reasonable, I think, because he recognizes hey, he makes really bad in-game decisions a lot of times, but still realizes, because Tim, talks to players, he knows how they feel about things, he knows how important that relationship is with a manager, and he knows Doc is a very good player's manager. He is. I mean, who else are you going to have in there? You can bring back Jim Torrey?
Trent says bring back Jim Tracy.
Jim Tracy.
Is
Jim Tracy alive?
Yeah. Quality. Breaking. Jim Tracy is still alive.
Yeah. Annette really likes our new sign, by the way. It does bring it to life a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm really digging it. I wish it was above my head.
With the TV on, it would look really great. And once we get, spoiler alert, we're getting a standing desk real soon. So we're going to be like up there, and this is going to be a lot of me swaying because your boy don't like standing. But we're going to get some stools.
I just realized my knees are going to hurt.
My knees hurting right now.
And I'm sitting down.
Anthony Keene says, Brook is my hero. I'm just going to leave no context on that. I'm just going to say that, there goes my hero. Final thing to talk about with Dodgers updates, but really it's an MLB update. It's MLB news from today that isn't to deal with the boring non-updates of walking back and forth parking lot watch 2022. But Derek Jeter quit the Marlins, which is hilarious because the Marlins are notorious tankers. And after, when did he get hired? That was like 4 years ago. He went on to the Marlins. And, well, he's like, I'm not going to be here. Who has the hardest reactions to this right now? I want to hear from somebody. You got something?
I have an update from John Heyman.
Oh,
that doesn't involve a parking lot. Hearing now that players are resistant as a group to 14 teams in the playoffs, and it's not just 1, 2, or a few against it. There's a quote-unquote widespread consensus not to go to 14 postseason teams.
Breaking.
Oddly enough, only the Padres players were in on it.
I know, right?
Fernando Tatis Jr. has arrived in the 13th hour. The Derek Jeter thing is directly reflective of where the league is right now, where you have teams like the Marlins who are not reinvesting
like
the revenue
Rockies.
Sharing, like the Rockies,
like the
which
Twins.
is terrifying because Dick Monfort's a major voice.
Why is Dick Monfort there when he is like the least good owner?
He's really bad.
I've never met.
Just shows up
I've never interacted with a Rockies fan that enjoys Rockies ownership.
Have you
in
ever
any
talked
way.
to a Rockies fan?
Yeah, I follow like a Rockies podcast. That counts, right?
Oh yeah. Those guys,
Purple Monkey Dick Squasher or something like that.
They were seventh the Rockies were seventh in attendance last year and just had 2 players making double-digit $1 million contracts, which is crazy.
Oof.
But
one of them, they're letting him leave.
Yeah, exactly, with Trevor's story. Look, the Jeter thing is exactly what the players are contending, that there's a lot of teams that are not trying to win games, that they are running. It is a business, but at the heart of a sports business should be competition, trying to win a championship. And Jeter, they pretty much told Jeter, hey, we're not going to give you this $10 to $50 million that you wanted to make the team better. And Jeter said, I'm not going to be here.
Perfectly summed up. I love it. Hey, props to the captain for leaving. He was terrible for the job anyway, because why not?
Players don't often make good front office executives. Ask LeBron.
Or Magic.
Or Magic. Yeah.
I don't know. What does that mean for Brendan Gomes?
Oh, yeah, he wasn't really a good player, so it kind of works out that way.
Or Will Rhymes.
Yeah.
Things. But that's it. That's our Blue Haven for the live stream today. If you guys want to hear some hot in and out reactions from the four of us, subscribe to the podcast, because we're going to talk about Joe Kelly's in and out order, of which Eric is an expert on.
I got a Corona Lakes reference in here. That's a deep IE reference. That's pretty good.
They have lakes? Is that
we
just
do.
like
we do have a
sewage
lake.
runoff?
Meth water. It is what it is.
Just like Mom used to make. But yeah, tune into the podcast. Subscribe to that on the iTunes and Spotify and iHeartRadio and all those spots. We'll be up there later on Tuesday, or in the morning on Tuesday, talking about In and Out. Doug, I'm happy you came out. It's good to have you here. It's been a little while because you had to go and get hitched.
Had to get hitched, man. You got the wedding ring and the World Series ring.
My condolences to Jean.
Oh yeah, hey, she's gonna need it.
Hey, you were polite enough to get her a drown out Doug blender.
Yeah, so Brook, for my wedding gift, gave me this. I put this really fancy blender on our registry, and he got it for me. And in the note, he said, for Jean, to my wife, to put on the blender anytime Doug starts talking to drown him out. So every time I start talking, she puts on this blender. So then I have to talk really loud. So thanks a lot for that, Brooke. I appreciate it. My man Clint got me some kettle corn, which I've been devouring.
I still gotta get you some. I'll get you some.
No, don't get anything. Don't get
your watch.
Don't get me anything. But hey,
that's the best deal.
The best gift being on the show. Look, no matter what happens in the lockout, no matter what happens, Blue Heaven will always still be here for the fans out there. So that's all. That's all we really need, right? Is the Blue Heaven podcast. But hey, great to be back. Great. Thanks for the updates. I appreciate it, my man Eric. I trust me. I just meant like in general. But yeah, man. Let's get this lockout. Let's not agree on a 14-team playoff though, please. And but let's find a way to end this lockout and get this season going. And look, man, we're getting so close. I mean, tomorrow should be opening day month. Yeah. Right. So. I mean, let's find a way, man. Let's find a way. Let's get this lockout done, man.
Well, that was Doug. It was a lot of Doug. We appreciate Doug, as always.
Hey, man.
Appreciate Eric running the keys over there, keeping us up to date. One of my favorite comments was today from this stream was when I switched to you. He's like, that man was playing Galaga. Which is great. Yeah. That's a great reference. I think that was Anthony Keene. But, guys, thank you for hanging out with us. If anything happens positive, we live here. Eric lives here. We'll be back tomorrow if there's baseball to be had. But if not, do subscribe to us on youtube.com/DodgersNationTV. It's a great spot to to be. Make sure you hit up DodgersNation.com all the time to keep up to date on all the latest Dodgers news, notes, rumors, and I guess not really any of that. It's mostly news right now because there's no rumors to talk about that much. Freddie Freeman's going to be a Dodger according to Vassay. Woo!
All of that, guys. I'm at BrookMe3 on Twitter and Instagram. He's at RealFRG. We're at Dodger Nation on Twitter and Instagram as well. Thank you guys for hanging out with us.
That's EULO.
That's EULO.
EE.
And that's Doug.
LAU.
You guys know Doug. Thank you guys for hanging out with us. Thank you for your questions. Thank you for your comments. You guys are here all the time. We appreciate you for that. Tell your moms I said hello. And por mi gente, concha tu madre, te quiero mucho. We'll see you next Monday.
Bye.
Bye.